All right, and last things last. Now we have Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
Best title ever. This is created by Tim Miller, who you would know
Yeah.
as the director of Deadpool. He worked on Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Thor: The
Yeah.
Dark World. Well, he designed the title sequences for both of those. So yes, apart from directing, the man know a thing or two about animation, right? Uh, and this essentially is, well, oh yes, and he also teams up with the icon himself, David Fincher. And
Yeah.
basically, this is their answer to the long burning question that has been on many people's minds for the past couple of decades. We ever gonna get a reboot of heavy metal? Like, we ever going to see heavy metal rebooted in this generation? We ever going to? I know
Right.
Robert Rodriguez always kind of play with the possibility of doing it, but then, well, I guess priorities came to mind. But yeah, this is the closest that we will ever get to a heavy metal reboot. So essentially, what this is that this is an 18 episode season. Each episode, well, a majority of the episodes clock it at about 10, 15, 17 minutes or thereabout. The shortest
Right.
ones will be like about 6 or 7 minutes, right? And each is an animated short. They're animated by various studios, not just in the States but also like in France and Russia and whatnot. And each tell a primarily adult team story, but it and at first I was thinking, okay, it's gonna be about every story is gonna be about a robot. But actually no. But there is some sort of sci-fi or fantasy themed
Right.
element that's going on with well, fantasy is well, only a couple of episodes have fantasy in it, right? But a majority of those do touch on some aspect of science fiction, and they do it
Yeah.
in this really subversive, over the top, sometimes gratuitous, sometimes gory, violent, sexual manner.
Yeah.
And I fuck with this show.
Yeah. I thought
This
this
hands
was
down is one of the best shows
yeah.
of 2019, like
This
hands
is
down.
this is what let me tell you something. This is what Netflix purpose is. This is
Yes.
what Netflix purpose is. Just showing some really really experimental, interesting new ideas or trial error trial stuff, and just getting us to judge what was going on here. And I'll say out of all of the episodes, like I think I liked every one of them, pretty much all of them. I mean, clearly some are stronger and stand out more than others, but yeah, pretty much all of those worked.
Yeah, yeah. There was none that I generally hated. Like, there was a couple where I was like, they
No,
could have tweaked that a little
nothing,
bit. There was a little too heavy
right,
on style. I'll get
right.
to that, but other than that, though, everything else, I mean, everything worked. All these episodes worked, especially the animation department, which I will also
Yeah.
get to. But continue.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of them have a style thing. Some of them the story didn't make that much sense. Like, okay, that didn't make that much sense, blah 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 blah. Or this had a kind of weekend, it was a little too jokey, but you like it still, but so it's fine. So you don't have a big problem with it. But yeah, I thought this whole thing was just a fantastic product for me.
Yeah,
Again, this is the purpose of Netflix. This
yeah,
is what Netflix is for, in my opinion. This is what you have to do. Don't half-ass it. Just put out yourself in a space where it's super talented people, but is a place that they can't really market or sell, and it's kind of like being in the animation bazaar without being in an animation festival or bazaar. Because a while I haven't seen a really good compilation of animated shorts outside of animation or film festival.
yes,
Not since probably the Animatrix. I'm trying to think.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah. You're right. Yeah,
which is great on adult animations. Basically exhibition, run through anthology, and yeah, not since probably that. So all of these just so well done, so clever. Again, enormous amount of talent and style involved going on here. All of them, some of them really clever and funny. The writing is good in most of these. Yeah, I thought this was next to perfect for me. I
yeah.
had very no problems with any of these. But you want to cut through all of them one by one, or you want to just talk about them in general?
All right.
I
Well,
got.
what
I
I
just
will
had.
what I will do is that I will just run through the ones that I really enjoy the most,
Right.
and
Me too. I'll
maybe
do
just
that as
touch on a couple that just kind of underwhelmed or I just felt could have been
well.
punched
Okay.
up
So what
and
I'll do
made a
is
lot
I'll
better.
say mention. For me, I'll just mention three that stood out as the best, and then a couple, mentions, and then I'll just kind of say, what I felt about a couple of the others, all the others. So we can just run through them quick. So go through
Right,
them.
but before I get to that though, as I mentioned, heavy metal, yes, because if you are familiar with not just the comic book itself, but the cult classic and much deserve of that status. 1981 Canadian animated film of the same name. It does have that kind of feel where it's just this really anti Saturday morning cartoon kind of stuff. It's subversive,
Yeah, yeah, right.
violent, gratuitous. A lot of, well, just like with heavy metal, there's not that much sexual content in it. I know it always tends to be associated with having a lot of sexual content, but it's more like nudity than anything else, more like female nudity, and you do get that in a majority of these shorts here. You know what I mean? So it does have that kind of vibe. So I know for some people they might watch this and just like with heavy metal back then, find these things to be kind of juvenile. You know what I mean? Like, why is it
Yeah,
so gory and violent? But there's always some kind of not too much depth into it, but there is a lot of thought that's put into these stories, especially with the world building there. Because once again, it's a short; you have to tell the story in a short amount of time. And I was really impressed by the amount of world building that they brought to the table here for a majority of these shorts here. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, continue. Good.
No, as I say, yeah, because we don't have because big mass market stuff have to cater to younger churn, but because of the nature of Netflix now, you can start catering to that. Well, the lack of a better term, the Ralph Bakshi style of adult animation stuff, which we get a lot in this. Cynical, really, really crass. Yeah, it's a little edgy, edgelordish at times, but it still works.
Yeah,
For the
it
most part.
does. Right. So this is in no particular order, but I'm just gonna run through the ones that I enjoyed. Right. Well, actually, I should kind of. Okay. So basically, I would say I will kind of categorize them as the ones that I generally enjoy, but they may not be like the most hilarious of the lot.
No, yeah, you
And
go,
they
Shannon.
have
Yeah,
the kind of
like, yeah,
jokey episodes, right? Those I'll put in the middle, and then they have the kind of the ones that could have been a lot better, right? So
right.
first one that I really enjoyed was Suits, right? This is the one with
Yeah,
the farmers and the mechs and basically
right. Yeah,
using mechs to
yeah,
destroy to kind of wipe out these aliens that show up in these
yeah.
portals
Portal.
basically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The world building for this is so strong though, and once
Yeah.
again, well, what I like about these shorts here is that they're not gonna stop to give it this long drawn out story. It's just maybe perhaps like a situation where characters are in, they have to do a job, something kind of
Uh-huh.
happens, you get a little bit of characterization, but it's enough for you to be like, okay, these characters I should care about. Maybe not too much, but I should care about, you know what I mean? But with
Right.
Suits, I love the animation style for this too.
Yeah.
It has like I would imagine the people who involved probably did cutscenes for numerous video games in the past, but this one
Yeah.
had a kind of I don't know how to describe it, boy. Borderlands, maybe not Borderlands, but some game. For the life of me, I just can't remember what game it is. But the style of it, I was really, really impressed by. The action scenes were on point. I love the tension, how it was built. You know what I mean? And just the characterization, just taking these normal Texan farmers, and they twang and whatnot, the way how they talk, and just them powering these gigantic mechs and just going up against this insurmountable force of like rampage and aliens. Really loved
They
it.
do the it's Western premise really well.
Yeah, the music I thought was excellent though. But yeah, thoroughly, really, really enjoyed it. So the way how it ends, the payoff at the end, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is brilliant. And this is what I love about this show though. A majority of these shorts, I was like, I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this world. I want to see more of these characters, and I especially got this with Suits. Next one we have, which I really enjoyed though, was The Dump. This one was like sharp, dark humor, but it's basically about this guy who lives in a dump, and this city inspector comes, and there's this beast that's roaming, this beast that's made out of garbage, swallowing people and whatnot, and it's literally made out of garbage. It's feeding off of garbage. One thing I loved though was just the subversive humor of it. It's very crass. You know what I mean? Um, I love the animation for this though. The animation was
Yeah.
just like near perfect in my opinion. Just the use of shadow and light was on point. And yes, the joke you kind of see coming a mile away, but I just love how they kind of commit it. I just love
Yeah.
the dark humor. The dark humor is really what make it work for me. This one I didn't love as much as all that, but I just enjoyed from just a visceral perspective. Sucker of Souls. This one has
Yes.
a more traditional hand drawn style to it, but I love the style of
Yeah.
that. But it's just basically these guys in this cave going up against these so-called vampires, and one of
Right.
them the main
Yeah.
baddie being Dracula. But
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that one had the kind of Matrixy Don Davis style of music, the da 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 kind of music there. But I love
Yeah.
how just bare bones it was. It was just like, all right, we're just gonna give you X amount of minutes of just badassery, right? You get a little story, you get what going on. It's about Vlad or Dracula, whatever you call it, but it's just characters being badasses, and that's what it is. I love how the banter between each character. There's this is British character who just like love to just like shit up the main character basically, and I just love the back and forth with these characters. The end, and this is like one minor complaint that I have. The end is kind of typical Hollywood,
Yeah.
American film flair where, all right, the character would jump or, a creature will go rah and jump into the screen and they cut to black, you know what I mean? So it has
Right.
that
Right.
kind of end, but the ride going up to the end though, I was on point. I was loving that. Uh, Next one was Shapeshifters. The
Right. That
animation,
I
it's
don't.
the opening
It's good.
shots for this. There are two
Yeah.
opening shots for this. I was watching this thing, I was like, this thing
Yeah.
real?
Super impressive. Yeah.
Is this
Hard.
thing real? Is this thing
Yeah.
actually
The
real,
thing
Dread?
is, out of the
Oh my
entire
god.
thing, I think it only had one live action story. Well, one story
Yeah,
involving
yeah.
actual live action.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But
That was it. And which
but
is one of the weakest stories in my opinion, frankly. But
yeah,
that
although I was
else,
like the concept, but the
you're right.
payoff not that much. But
Right.
the first couple shots for this short, I was like, am I watching live action here? This is so real. But another minor gripe that I had, but I can't fault the animators for this. When they get to the character design, especially humans, when they
Yes.
do like the photorealistic designs now of the characters,
Yeah.
it's all good until you watch the mouths though. I find like
Right.
when you see the mouths, it's like yeah, everything looking
No,
good
no,
though, but
it's animation because
but
I actually thought this whole thing was going to be. I went into this completely blind. I just heard about it,
okay,
but
okay,
I actually thought this whole thing was going to be uh live action. Then you find
oh
out, oh
okay,
no,
okay,
this is animation. Okay. And I said, oh, we have animation anthology going, and there's only one story that is live action, and that is about it.
yeah.
Um,
Which we're
right,
gonna get to, right? But yeah, I dug the story for this. Basically, it's these Marines in Afghanistan. Well, this is
right,
during the whole Taliban era, basically the 2000s.
right.
But
That's all. It's
two, well,
reality.
one, yeah, but two in particular, at least one in particular story, has the ability to turn into what essentially is a werewolf, right? And he's
Right.
going up against, these group of, well, similarly powered, characters who have the same powers as well. There's one shot, well, the way how he kills the bad guy, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's not even
Brutal.
possible, but I love it. I love it. It is very gratuitous, yes, very violent. But I was like, all right, it's impossible, but I love this. Okay, I can live with that. And the way how it ends, though, I was like, all right, I'm feeling this. The whole
Yeah.
camaraderie between, the Marines and whatnot, very hoorah kind of vibe, right? So I dug that. Next one I enjoyed was Tree Robots. I love the dark humor in it. And just essentially
Yeah.
these tree robots, different designs on a vacation, actually, in an area of the Earth, in a post-apocalyptic Earth. All the humans are
Yeah.
wiped out. Just kind of looking through, walking through the city and they learning about how humanity basically fell, right? With nuclear weapons and all that good stuff, right? The twist at the end kind of catch me.
Uh,
I was like, all right, I don't know if well,
it's
I
silly, but
wasn't really. It was silly, but I was kind of
right.
questioning the possibility of it. Like, say one day, like I don't know if a scientist, if he were thinking
Yeah.
about like the end of the world, if he would think, well, okay, would this herald the end of the world? You know what I mean?
Right.
But the character that I really love out of this though was the one that I swear looked like the machine from Interstellar, the kind of
Right.
triangle shaped one.
Yeah.
There's a scene with them in this basketball court, right? And you have this, well, the most talkative, he's the loudmouth in the group, right? This kind of white and black robot, right? More kind of android than anything like that. And he's playing with a basketball now. And you have this short one who's kind of telling him, come on, play with it, play with it, play with it. And the line that the triangle shaped robot says, and she's a female, by the way, had me in stitches by so I had this kind of Stephen Hawking kind of voice there. And she
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
stop being a
Alexa.
whiny pussy and fucking bounce it. When I
Yeah.
hear that,
Alexa.
I I nearly died laughing, John. Cause the delivery of it was so funny, but
Yeah.
I just love how dark and satirical it was. That like, yeah, well, eventually he was eventually gonna destroy the world, and yeah, it takes machines to come down and kind of critique what we did and how we killed ourselves. Now, so that was really dope. A
Yeah.
few more to go. Blind Spot. Really dug that one.
Right.
That
That
one
one
is
is
just similar to Suck of Souls. It's just this basic action sequence, basically, right?
yeah.
But I love the Mad Max reference. It has this Mad Max Fury Road vibe to it. Just basically this group of robots. Well, sorry, cyborgs, basically pulling off a job, trying to get this microchip from this convoy, and you have to kill all these robotic bad guys, and just badassery and slow mo shots and
Yeah.
f bombs thrown here, there, stuff like that. So I really dug that. That was another show where I was like, I want to see more of this. I really want to see more of this. And that's pretty much it. So
Okay.
the ones that kind of come midway for me, um, yogurt. This was one of the more
Right.
comical ones here,
Right.
but this one basically was
When you got
it's basically their take on the iconic Twilight Zone episode To Serve Man. So
right.
it's what happens when yogurt becomes sentient and wants to rule the world, and yes, well, they will give us peace and show us ways to in this case, make the whole world rich, but eventually they want to seek out more and all that kind of stuff. There's a joke with Ohio that kind of fell flat, but how they play it off
Right.
afterwards visually was kind of funny. I dug the style of it as well too. It has this kind of Pixar-esque kind of style, like it feels like this is a Pixar short. So
Right.
yeah, this was
Um.
cool, but didn't love it as much as all
Right.
that.
Right.
And I got the same thing with alternate histories. This was one
Right.
that I really wanted to like. I like how dumb and nonsensical it was. So
Yeah.
it's basically this app that shows you 6 scenarios of what would happen if what would happen if this certain event happened. In this case,
Right.
they use the most one of the most popular ones. What if Hitler got killed? What if he died before he became
Right.
who he is now? So give us 6 scenarios, and I was digging the whole Disney vibe, but then of course it's love, death, and robots. So they gotta get
Right.
sort of NFSW, and they do throw in this part involving some prostitutes. I was like, okay,
Right.
I see what y'all
Really
did there.
is. Yeah.
But it was just so nonsensical. It was hard for me to take seriously, but I guess that's the point of it, right?
That's the point, yeah.
Yeah,
For me, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. Few more to go.
Oh,
One
you
that I
just going
wanted
through.
to, yeah, I might as well. One
Oh,
that,
let me go through my top and then thing.
all right, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so you go
Yeah.
ahead, you do your stuff, right? Yeah.
Right. No. Okay. So for me, my three top, the ones that really stood out for me and that I really enjoyed and appreciated, just because of style and approach, and then the story don't necessarily have to be brilliant, but it was good. For me, The Witness. I thoroughly
Oh,
love this.
really?
Yeah.
That was the one
I.
that I had in my low category, really,
Oh
because I
yeah.
felt it was just too much style over substance. It felt the
Right.
most gratuitous. I get what
Right.
was
It
going
is. It is
on,
very.
but I kind of
But
didn't get what was going on. But I felt it was
right.
just too heavy on style. It was just a
Right.
little abrasive. But I dug the style, though. I
Right.
really dug the style.
Yeah. It was basically like a better version of Spider-Man into Spider-Verse animation. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like you see, it felt smoother and better, because one of the problems I had with Spider-Man Spider-Verse animation was the whole kind of framey look to everything. Um, whilst this felt a lot smoother in my opinion. And yeah, the whole kind of double time loop thing going on there, I thought it was kind of clever and weird. But I was dug the hell out of it in terms of the approach. The second one that was I enjoyed was Good Hunting.
Okay.
Really enjoyed this one. That steampunk approach to everything.
Yes. That one
Yeah,
I have in the middle. Really, what was really digging the story and everything like that.
yeah,
It has one the Hammer Laughter, where it's basically this spirit character, this female kind of fox character, right? And
right,
she's living the life of a prostitute because she has to get by as times are changing in steampunk-esque China or Hong Kong,
right.
sorry.
Hong
And
Kong.
she ends up running afoul of this pimp guy, right? And he basically takes her body except for her head and makes it, makes her
Sorry.
machine there except for her head. And
Well, I think that's right.
yeah, so you like when she say how he gets hard for machines or something like that. I was like,
Right.
yeah, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So you basically do that because you want to get hard off a sheet. So yeah, put
Yeah.
a robotic body on her. I was like, yeah,
Whatever.
moving on.
Um, And then the third one that I thought was pretty cool. It's a little pretentious, but I thought it was pretty cool in terms of what the premise was. Zima Blue.
Oh, this was
You
the
like
one
this one?
I had this in middle as well.
Yeah.
First off, the visuals, I was loving it.
Yeah.
It had a anime style to it, the way how the
Yeah.
characters are kind of exaggerated. I love
Yeah.
the artsy feel to it, but then
Yeah.
the way how it plays out is like,
I
yeah, but
I dug
all right,
it.
okay, this is
Yeah.
art. This is the
Right.
full extent of the extreme of art I get, but
I think that's what I
that
liked
was
about
it.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
see, but what I would give credit for it, I really dug the story for this. It is
Yeah.
one of the most unique stories in
Yeah.
this
Very clever.
in this series here, hands down.
Yeah. Very clever. The stuff that I liked and I didn't love. Well, I just to go through my quick middle with you.
Sure.
I liked Sunny's Edge. I liked the twist at the end. That's cool.
Yeah, Sunny's Edge. I have it in the middle as well. I
Right.
felt that it was a little on the edgelord side of things. You know
A
what I
little
mean? It's
bit.
all
Yeah.
like, all right, we being dark, we being edgy for the sake of being edgy. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can have we have a protagonist be a lesbian because,
Right.
we being edgy, yeah, man. You know what I mean? And
But
it being
no, the thing
this
is,
episode was like,
I was
okay, you're
right.
this is clear to rope the audience in, but in my
Right.
head I was telling myself, I hope that the others aren't like this. You know what I mean?
Right. I know, but I thought what happens at the end. The ending was good, where you find out where the real mind is. So like, okay, cool.
Yes,
I
yes,
like
yes. I gave
you
credit
find
for
out
that.
who the real
It,
person is. That's
yeah,
great.
indeed.
Um,
Yeah.
suits I liked a lot. Suck Up Souls I liked. The humor ones I kind of just dismiss. The one I really appreciated is your girl Poussey from Ting
Oh
from
yes, how can I
uh,
forget that? This would have been this is somewhere in the middle of ones I really love, but ones
yeah,
that I wish I love more. This is Lucky 13. Yeah, boy.
right,
Samir Wiley McGill Pussy was this
yeah.
like, but I was hearing the voice. It's like, wait, that
Oh, I
Pussy. And
like
then
her.
when I saw her, like they actually
Yeah,
designed her, I was like, word,
yeah.
okay. And this
Well, it's
is
a no
essentially
cap
like a
her.
Gears of War kind of story. She's a pilot of the ship, and it's just a bunch of soldiers going up
Right.
against rival soldiers in the future. I
Yeah, really
dug the
interesting.
action sequences for this, by the way. I really dug it.
Yeah,
Really on point.
yeah.
But
What
so then for the
others?
end was a little on the generic side, but other than that, I dug the hell out of that one.
Right. The others that was cool, but they just felt like extended cutscenes in a video game. So Secret War was what I was like that. I liked it, but
Yeah.
not
I'd agree
sure.
with you because I don't know, because I wouldn't say I was distracted by the animation. But I was watching the
Right.
animation, I was like, yeah, this really does feel like the cutscene from a video game, like a Call of
Well,
Duty or something like that. There. And then I was
yeah.
trying to get into the story, and the story was kind of flat.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
I think the problem is that it was too similar to Sucker of Souls for me to enjoy it as much.
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
felt a little similar. Movies, things that are another felt like extended cutscene, blind spots, like it, but still it feel like something, out of our thing.
Yeah, it really does have a video game feel to it, but I think that's the
Right.
reason why I like it so much.
Yeah, things I didn't like, and I thought you would have liked more. But I surprised you liked it as much, right? I can't actually. To me, it's one of the weakest. I thought the dump was one of the weakest for me. I didn't like it
Okay.
as much. I
Yeah,
didn't care for
I
it.
just like the crass humor. It was it was
Right.
gross, but it was good gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Shapeshifters I liked a lot. It was brutal, and a lot of that worked for me. Fish Night came and went for me. Liked it. I like the
Yeah,
idea, but
I like the idea as well too. But then the end
just
happened.
it's
I was like, but
thing happened.
why would
Right.
the character do something so stupid though? Like I
Yeah,
get,
that's my problem with it. Yeah.
yeah. And then the last shot was just so ambiguous. I was just like, well, that's
Right.
the best way I could end this.
Right.
But I love the visual style for this. It has this sort of
Right.
gel animation
Right.
style going on. There, I really dug that. I
Right.
haven't seen that style animation in a long while.
Now
Though,
why?
you know it? Yeah.
Right. The one that was the weird one I thought was cool, but it was a little too similar to Gravity, which was Helping Hand.
Yes, yes, yes. This was
It
what I
was
wanted. This was in the middle for me. Um,
yeah,
yes, it does very much rip off Gravity. There's even a
it
point
feels
where a
like Gravity.
character says LV426. I was like, are they watching
Oh no,
Aliens?
yeah, that was yeah. That's like
I was
Aliens
like, okay,
reference.
that's way too on the nose, guys. Like, come on,
Yeah,
right? But
right.
I had to think up about what was going on because it's essentially character stuck in the middle of space. What does she do?
Yeah,
How does she get back? At
yeah,
first, I was like, well, this thing don't make no sense, no. But then I had to think
yeah,
about it again. Oh,
yeah.
okay, because she can move.
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't I don't know if physics holds up, but it makes sense. It's like, yeah, she had to just displace momentum. So like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's the last thing you do though, but
yeah, but it's this
do it.
acceleration because she's not dead.
Yeah, I don't know, like I just kind of saw like, okay, I just want to have a scene of violence in it, like something
Nah,
like, all I'll say 127 hours. That's like the best reference
right,
I could give here.
right,
But
right.
I
That's
had to
what
sit
it
down
is.
and think about it afterwards of the logic of it. That was it.
The one that I thought didn't make any sense, but it looked good. But again, it was a cutscene thing. It felt like I extended the cutscene, which was beyond the Aquila Rift. That didn't
Yeah,
make any
that
sense.
was what I have low for me too, because
It
I
was
dug the
well.
visuals of it. Once again,
Yeah.
until they focus on the bounce, it's like, yeah, but the bounce though.
But it didn't make sense. Like I didn't find it made sense because it had a twist, and it's like, wait, he getting information from this, but then is this weird like Lovecraftian thing, and
Yeah.
it's like, wait,
And
why
oh
you
yeah,
don't
the
tell him at
design,
all?
well, the Lovecrafted design for that, I really dug. Really dug the visuals for it though. Because really
Right,
it's kind of like, okay, see one thing, but it's something totally different. That's all I'll say. But it's something that one of the characters says, and you kind of wonder, well, yeah, as I say, why is this character feeding information into this other one? Like, what is
right. It makes
the
point.
connection
Yeah,
there? You know?
right. It
Yeah,
didn't make sense to me. I
and
didn't
they
get.
had a couple of lines, by the way. Well, it's from one of the female characters that kind of fell flat. Is like, don't you see who this character is? Stop it! And it just didn't
Right.
sound good
But
at
then,
all.
but then you find out that that's not real either. So like, wait, what? That
Yeah,
whatever.
like what's going
Kind
on?
of,
I'm not too sure.
I kind of get what it was. Like it's supposed to be his imagination telling him that. I didn't sure. It was a little too vague for me to enjoy.
Yeah.
Um,
We did talk about Ice Age. We keep referencing Ice Age.
right.
What I like.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah. So
pictures?
one thing that I give credit for this series for, because I binged it like one episode after the next, right?
Me too.
Is
Yeah.
that it always kind of throws you off. It kind of always puts you off balance. Sorry, always kind of
Right.
throws you off guard there. So who would have thought, like, all these episodes in, and then the show start, this episode starts, and you're seeing friggin' Topher Grace
And
and Mary
Mary
Elizabeth
Elizabeth.
Winstead. I'm like, wait, no, but we doing live action too? And then it's
Right.
when they actually, but basically the premise is that this couple, the guy owns this fridge, and when he opens the freezer, there's this big block of ice, and when you look at, you see like this world, that, yeah, a world basically being developed,
Right.
and it dies and it returns and all that kind of stuff. And uses kind of like, it's supposed to be stop motion animation, but it's just basically, simple VFX, but you just speed it up to make it look, like it
Right.
is stop motion animation. I thought that was cool, but the payoff it was just like, all right, like cool little shot at the end, okay, but a little anticlimactic in my opinion. It's
Right.
like,
So yeah,
what's the
man,
point?
this
Restarts, okay,
basically
so okay,
right. The problem is that with it is that it basically, well, it's the old joke Simpsons did it. This was basically a Simpsons episode. um, it's an old Treehouse of Horror episode of Simpsons, and
oh,
South
I
Park
had in
parody.
mind it was a Treehouse of Horror episode you were referencing to.
Right? And it's a parody of and then South Park parodies as well. Um, made fun of the episode because they had something like that similarly. And
Oh,
yeah,
with
that's
the Society of, I think, what was it,
right.
South Park? It was
Sea
Lice or something.
monkeys.
Yes. And they try to
Sea
do
monkeys.
this apocalypto
Right.
story, right? In it, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Right. But the whole point of when South Park did it is that they say Simpsons did it. That was the old joke of the South Park episode. Because it was ripping off the episode of The Simpsons, which was famous with the tooth, where Lisa Simpson had static electricity on her tooth, and
Right.
he started growing. That's the same thing.
Okay.
And I think so. Yeah, Futurama did it as well. And that was the problem with this premise is that they didn't do anything extra other than the same premise. It's the same thing. Nothing was interesting. Didn't add anything to it. Didn't explain or give any workable context of why it worked. Nothing. This
Yeah,
to me is probably the weakest one, if anything,
yeah,
because
yeah,
of that.
yeah. What do you think about alternate histories? You dug it, or it was too
Yeah,
nonsensical for you?
it's a fun joke. Fun joke, just kind of pass the time. Three robots, fun joke, passing the time. Still good, good dialogue and whatnot, but just more funny premise. Nothing
Yeah,
like to right home about because like it didn't have you thinking. It was just funny. That's
yeah.
clever. It had
Right,
the
and you
joke.
said yogurt. You didn't care for yogurt.
Yeah, I care for yogurt again. Still kind of funny. It had its lines and funny and like, oh, look how dumb humans are. Blah blah blah. They move on. Nothing special about it. I thought.
Yeah,
Um, it's a DreamWorks bit. That's what.
it is. It is. It is. Yeah, just with a really dark sense of humor.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, for me though, I see myself going back to this, and that's not before. I don't even talk about like, oh, well, season two's coming up, so I need to recap season one. No, I talking about like how people were with Black Mirror. Like once they saw episodes, they have to rewatch them again. You know what I mean? And this is me with this. Like I want to watch these episodes again. I want to just bask in the awesomeness of the animation and just the styles that they bring to the table here. Though. And I was watching this thing. I was like, I don't know, in my head I was saying, but you know, we not really doing all that good with the movie department. You know, if we buck up and we get somebody and we can actually develop our animation, you know, our animation a lot better, we can actually rival these people though. One day, maybe not. But
Right.
what I mean is like not everything has to be, you know, photorealistic and whatnot, you know what I mean? Stuff like Suits, you know, are
Right.
representative of that, right? Suits
Yeah.
and Fish Night and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, but we could
Blind spot. Yeah.
still, and Blind Spot, yeah. We could still come with some, oh yes, and who can forget uh, Zima Blue and
Yeah.
Good Hunting, you know what I mean? Like, we don't necessarily have to do photorealistic animation to make it big there. But still, don't half-ass the animation. Still bring something new, freshy
Yeah.
table, and make it be something that somebody like me who barely knows a lot about animation, but I grew up on, you know, on animation, wanted to be an animator at a point in time, can look at this stuff and be like, yeah, I kind of want to be in this now. I kind of want to be in this niche now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was
Yeah.
just watching each and every one of these shorts. I was like, yeah, boy, this is like the future right here, boy. You know what I mean?
Well,
So yeah,
you know,
I what?
ever so often you just get this, eh? Ever so often, every 20 or so years, every 10 years or so, you'll just get like a nice ontology of just a bunch of new talent. And people don't get a chance to do their thing, but they get time to shine, and you give them a little platform to shine. This is what Netflix is for, in my opinion.
Exactly.
It's
I
what
agree. I agree.
excellent.
And hands down props to the studios that were involved with each of
Yeah.
these shorts. So round of applause, standing ovation. Y'all just killed it. Y'all killed it. Uh, you know what I mean? And I hope that more people do check out their works, you know, your works, however, if you happen to be listening to this podcast here. And you know, just keep it up though. Just keep on just wowing people, just blowing
Yeah.
people's minds. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like I just watch this thing as like, but you know, if we put a little brain power and we have somebody in cash to put it in, yeah, we could do stuff like this. But
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, boy, hands down, this is one of the best shows of 2019. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Uh, I guess if you just not into edgy, dark, violent, you know, not overly, but you know, sexualized animation. This is not gonna be for you. But I
Right.
dug the hell out of this one. I really want to watch this again. I don't even want to wait till a second season. I hope we get a second season, but I have a feeling we might have to wait like 2 3 years or so for this show to come back by with a new season. But for now, for what we get here, these 18 episodes, I can't wait to watch these things. Watch these episodes again. So
Yeah,
for me,
yeah. The analogy I like to think of this, if this I think should be hopefully like a ongoing thing, maybe like once a year or once every 2 years, where you just get to see the anthology and you just cater to people and the new talent, and you do it similar to what Cartoon Network was doing in the mid 90s. Remember that whole
yes, yes,
water
yes.
cartoon movie, something
Yeah.
like that, and
Good,
and then
good.
you build from that.
Yeah, good thing you bring up that too. Well, last thing I'll say before I get to read it. Yeah, this is like Toonami in a sense, come back. You know what I mean? Like return. But the main reference I want to use here is remember way back in the 90s, right, when MTV started to put out stuff like Eon
Right,
Flux and Max, right?
right, right,
Um,
right. Yeah, I was
that
thinking
kind
that was
of
right. Yeah,
prime time animation stuff.
you're
This is
right.
like the return of
Yeah,
that, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, not much more I could say, man. This gets a strong 4 to a light 4.5 out of 5, man. Yes, I'm going big with this one, mate.
yeah. I
Yeah,
read
this
this
is
one.
definitely gonna make it in the top 10 for sure. Yes, you could argue it's style over substance and whatnot, but I was digging the style and I was digging the substance. It's substance that I don't have to take too seriously, but it's enough for me to be like, yeah, but he put a lot of thought into it, though, regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I dug the hell out of it. Even the ones I didn't really enjoy that much, there's always something about it that,
yeah.
really
Make
caught
it
me.
like
And I always want to go back to watch these things again. I see myself kind of obsessing over this because I confess, I was late to the whole Black Mirror party. You know, everybody was like, Black Mirror, you saw this episode? I've seen this like 10 times. You know what I mean? I was late
right.
in, but I got in and I I got into the hype. I was like, all right, cool. But I see
Right.
myself going back to the show over and over. And within 2019 for sure. But yeah, hands down, is one of the best shows. It was I would say one of the most enjoyable shows I have seen this year. So what is your rating?
Right. Yeah, I get it's like a really high score, like a next to perfect, like 9 out of 10 kind of score, almost perfect for me.
Nice.
All of them are very good. They really feel like adult versions of those great Pixar shorts. Every one of them, even the ones I don't really care for all that much, still really good. Still really well polished. There's still just a lot of talent behind it. But yeah, the ones that stood out really put this above the mark for me. Um, if it's anything, if it's a slight change, I'll probably just trim them down to about 15 episodes, if anything. But whatever, all of them was good. So it's fine.
Yeah,
But I would really want to see this like once a year.
me
Once a
too.
year we get something like this, and we just get just these excellent products and content, and just showing talents, and especially right now where adult animation never really get fair shake in mainstream culture. Yeah, we should start getting some adult animation stuff, some Ralph Bakshi level kind of stuff. Get some of that. That's the aspect of what adult animation could be. Because it never really get a fair shake other than Adult Swim TV shows, dumb, low budget, low production value stuff. Like I like Rick and Morty to death, but that shit low production. Come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Comedy
you know,
Central stuff like
right,
not just Soul Park, but Drawn Together. Like anybody remember that?
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
all of this,
like stuff like that.
and I want high production value adult animation. See if we could get something from there. We haven't had that in a goddamn long time. I think not since Animatrix. I can't really remember. Probably maybe the Batman Gotham Knights was a thing. That kind of count, I suppose.
Yeah,
Maybe I know.
yeah.
That's about it. And so I give this a very high score, especially just it's a breath of fresh air. Really, really
It
good.
is for sure.
And I like
Yeah,
that it's about original, good, great stories that you can build a lot from and do a story with.
totally
So
agree.
that's
Yeah,
yeah,
this actually
cool
give
man.
me hope. And just
Yeah,
I don't. It just sparked. It just kind of like I don't know, just spark this creativity in cinema. Like I'm not seeing that
yeah,
I'm going to, be this big animator one day, but we see any potential of animation, especially in our society where, like I say, our local film industry kinda stagnant, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
right.
yeah, something like this, you watch it say like, yeah, there's potential with other mediums, you know what I mean? So it's not just film, but let's try other things. And I think
Yeah,
we could do a thing with animation. You know what I mean, just spend some money and get a big team involved.
yeah.
You know,
I don't
and
think like
boom.
even in the Caribbean, it only have this one animation from Martinique that is the only thing that seems to be bouncing around the place. That is
Oh
all I've
yes,
seen.
yes. Battle Dream Chronicle, which I have seen actually twice.
Yeah,
Um,
right,
Potential is there. It's decent, but
right,
I heard the talk that well, I heard the talk actually that these guys behind it want to make a series, and for me that is
right,
a very very ambitious call. Uh,
right,
but I hope the guys look. I really wish them luck. I really wish them luck in doing so.
yeah,
But it's gonna be very 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 difficult for them to pull off. But hey, if they
right,
have the right team, good
right,
amount of followers, and the budget, I
right.
guess so. Yeah,
Yeah, right. Again, animation is one of the hardest things to pull off because you need a big team, you need everybody on point. Sadly, you need to kind of screw people over when it comes to money. You can't pay people immediately. You need to
yep,
have a little sweat shop or two. Sorry to say it, because even cutting edge stuff still not paying people when it comes to CG and animation people. That shit need to form unions. I'll just straight up say it. Even video
yeah,
game people need to form unions. That's the only way to get that stuff done without pissing people off. Either that or you somehow pay people immediately, which most companies and corporations can't do. Um, so that is about it. Yeah, this was a breath of fresh air for me. I really love that they did this. The thing is, I'll say is that companies need to just stick to like a handful of small projects, and they could stick to that maybe, and then you could get a big corporation or company behind you. But we don't see that because that shit only exists in Japan. I just going straight up say it.
yeah, for real, for
Barely
real.
exists in the United States at all. Probability of doing that is unlikely. We had a couple things on Fox, like you remember Invasion Earth. Remember that?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Invasion America.
Oh yes, yes. Vision America. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. That stuff's so rare and hard to pull off. You ain't gonna get to see that. I mean, not to say that local. Sorry, I say local. I say yeah, Western. Not to say that Americans can't pull off the adult animation series and local, the quote unquote American anime stuff, but shit hard, shit real hard. Like you ain't gonna, it's gonna be next to impossible to pull off. You gotta sit down with that, have it make sense, or you're gonna get the quote unquote CalArts direction where everything just kind of low budget and cheap, or I should say just looking kind of low res in its animation. Like I like Shira, but sorry to say it, that shit looking cheap. You know, I like
I
She-Ra.
still haven't watched Shira yet, but
Yeah, I like stuff like Steven Universe, but that shit looking cheap. Sorry to say.
yeah, I mean, it had to look easy enough to animate it. I guess
Exactly.
that's the thing that going for mainstream
Right.
American TV
That's,
animation.
that's, that's the working trade-off is how much it's gonna cost. Um, that stuff. You can imagine those shots not cheap at all.
Oh,
But stuff,
hell no.
yeah. But yeah, it's a stretch in the right direction. I really hope they keep up the quality of it and make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I this was a great direction for things, a great stance for new talent, and yeah, I dug the hell out of it.
Yeah. I mean, not much more we could say, guys. Go
Yeah.
watch Love, Death, and Robots. Like, go watch it right now. You will not regret it. Unless you just not into stuff like that. That's the only way I could, not recommend you watch it. But other than that, go see it. Like, go watch it, like, right now, right? It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. You have no escapes.